Hi, friends. Long time no see. I'm Rainey, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Lovely to have you. I have been gone for a little while. I look back at my videos, and I think I did a floss tube at the beginning of February, and then nothing. So now, granted, February is a short month, so we'll go with that, I just didn't have as much time. But really, that's what, 2 days that I didn't have in February, so it's not a great excuse. But I my big excuse was that I have been dealing with some kind of GI issue for since the beginning of February. And I think I'm finally figuring out maybe not necessarily what's going on, but how to fix it. So, um, but it's taken a month. And then in the middle of all that, I also got the head cold that's been going around. So I have not felt like filming or doing much of anything at all for the past 4 weeks or so. So now today I'm feeling pretty good, so I thought I would come on here and kind of update you on what I've been reading. I thought about filming my floss tube and my reading in the same video, but that's going to get way too long. So we're just going to split those up. So if you like the floss tube videos, stay tuned. That should be coming relatively shortly. Maybe today. We'll see. So let's just jump right in so this video isn't too terribly long. But if you recall, earlier in the year when I got a devotional that I was going to do for the season of Lent, I had grand plans of vlogging. Ooh, sorry, I just kicked my tripod. We're going well here so far today. I had grand plans of doing vlogs every week and sharing some of my thoughts on the devotional that I was doing. But then I didn't feel great most of the days, and I would film like an intro or film like one or two clips and then like nothing for days. So I just scrapped that whole idea and thought I'm not going to stress myself out about that. But I did want to talk to you about how it's going so far. So, that devotional, if you're unaware, is Clinging to the Cross by the Daily Grace Co. And it is a 40-day devotional about the season of Lent. And basically, what it has been doing is been going through, we're still in the Old Testament, but it's been going through different books of the New Testament and showing how God provides hope and a way out for the sinful people, and how ultimately that way out is Jesus Christ. But it also just shows the different ways that, no matter what, Israel definitely, the Israelites, they just constantly screwed up. And I liked in a different book I'm going to talk about, um, there's a quote that I'm going to paraphrase and butcher, I'm sure, but it basically says, the Bible is true because no people group would document so many embarrassing things about themselves just for a story." Oh, so yeah, there's just a lot of sin and a lot of just stupidity throughout the Bible in the people that are supposedly followers of God, and they just never get it right. And but yet God still loves them. God still provides a way out. I have really been enjoying it. I've actually been keeping up mostly. Actually, I think I'm maybe a couple of days behind, but it's nice because Sundays are rest days. So they're also like catch up days. So if you've missed some days, then you can catch up on Sundays. So I'm definitely going to be doing that today, because if I didn't say, today is Sunday March 15th. Yeah. So I will probably be doing some catch up today in this, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I will say that as far as the Daily Grace studies go, I prefer their book studies. They have book of the Bible, individual studies, and I do prefer those just because I'm not really generally a devotional type of a girl because a lot of devotionals are very feelings driven, not driven that way. So to I like the book studies because they have a little bit of that, but they are like a lot of facts and a lot of like you're actually studying the book and the language and the word choices and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a little bit better at that than I am at the devotional style. But I would say that clinging to the cross, while it's not like a deep book study because we're going through the entire Bible and it's a little bit more devotional, it's not like I wouldn't call it super feelings driven. Like the questions sometimes are, but I don't always do the questions. And I'm giving you permission to not do the questions. You can just read the information and read the Bible and you're good. So, and then, if you don't write in it, then you can always go back to it another time and do the questions another time, which might be what I do. I don't know. So, anyway, that so far is where I am in clinging to the cross, and I will try to come back. I'm not going to do vlogs at this point, but I will try to come back and do like an overview of the whole thing when I'm done and like what I ultimately thought of the whole thing. But right now, I really like it, and I'm happy to be doing it. So there's that. So while we are on the devotional Christian kick, we will talk about what I have been doing for my DIY theology degree. Now, this has been going a lot slower than I originally intended it to be, but that's fine. I want to get a lot out of the books that I'm reading. So I don't mind that it's going super slow. So we're in March now, so I would consider this the end of Q1, quarter one. And not that most schools go in quarters, but we'll just go with it based on that. And I have only finished 2 books for my DIY theology degree. And I started my Hillsdale Theology 101 course, and I keep forgetting about it. So I need to really buckle down and try to make myself like a schedule of actually going on and doing the lessons because I think I did the first one, and the first one was just kind of an introduction to the series, and I just never went back. And so I need to do that. So that's where I am at this point. But I have finished 2 books. One I was totally planning on. The other one was kind of a last minute addition, buddy read with a friend. And that first one I might have talked about already, but it is Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer. I read this with my friend Amy at the beginning of the year, and it was a great overview and a talk about just the attributes of God and how we get to know God and how knowing God's character is essential to really having a relationship with Him. Like everything, you want to know somebody's character in order to be friends with them and to trust them. So that it was a book basically going off of that. It's something that I think I would want to reread. I feel like I maybe didn't focus on it enough. And A.W. Tozer is more like, I wanted to say fancy language. It's not fancy, formal. That was the word I was looking for. A little bit more formal in the way he writes. So I just feel like maybe I listened to it. So I feel like maybe I should have um, actually read it with my eyeballs and taken it slower. That might have made it sink in a little bit more. So I'd probably like to read it again. So it might be my friend Amy that I read it with. She says she reads it every year at the beginning of the year. So I might do that. I might try to start at new tradition of reading that at the beginning of every year. So we'll see. So the second book that I have finished, and I just finished it at the end of February, was I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist by Frank Turek and Norman L. Geisler. And as you can see, I got a lot out of this book. And Frank Turek, he has a podcast and like a YouTube kind of YouTube podcast, sort of, where he goes around to different universities and things and kind of does an Ask Me Anything kind of a thing, kind of a question and answer kind of a thing. So I've watched a few of those, but a lot of those things were in this book. So, I was definitely taking my time with this and doing a lot of tabbing. And yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and a lot of very good points and a lot of things to like keep in the arsenal when somebody kind of gives you a objection to the Bible and the resurrection and just Christianity in general. This is a good thing to bring up. Of course, I've read some reviews of this book from, I would assume, non-Christians, and you know, everybody is going to have criticisms of this, of a Christian book that's trying to defend its faith. It is what it is. I thought that they were very good points. I am a Christian, so I guess that makes me a little bit biased, but I did think that from an objective standpoint, a lot of his points were very good, and or their points, both of them. Norman L. Geisler, I believe he has since passed away. But yeah, I really liked, I mostly liked the parts of the book that talked more about the the people of the Bible, and just like why we should trust that the Bible is historically accurate, why we should believe that it's true, like that quote that I said earlier, which I don't think was by either of these guys. I think they just quoted it in the book, that like there's so many embarrassing things about the Israelites in the Bible that, if it wasn't them having a true account of the Bible, like why would they tell on themselves, basically? So, but yeah, there's just a lot of interesting historical information in this. The first few chapters of this book were very sciencey. It was more talking about creation and how we can reasonably believe that the world was created by divine design, and just very sciencey. So that really was a kind of a slog for me. But once we kind of got out of that and more into Old Testament and New Testament theology and evidence for that and evidence for the resurrection, that's where I really had an interest. So, but yeah, I really recommend this book if you're somebody who is trying to find evidence for Christianity, and you just are very like, you need some facts. This is probably a good book to start with for you. Honestly, that is the only book that I finished in February. I also had started with my friend Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes. I started the book Susie by, I think his name is Ray Rhodes Jr., and it is a biography of Susie Spurgeon, who was the wife of Charles Spurgeon, the famous Victorian preacher. And so far, we are taking it like super duper slow. We read a couple chapters and then we just kind of forget to check in. And then like one of us is like, "Oh, we haven't checked in a while," and then we'll talk for a while. So we're still like, I don't even know, we might not even be halfway through it, but we're both really enjoying it. It's just, I don't know, we just can't focus, I guess, or we just have too many other things that we're reading. I don't know. But yeah, Susie Spurgeon was a really fascinating person. And one of the main things that we kind of learned early on is that her lifespan was the entirety of Queen Victoria's reign. So, for all of my friends who love Victober, this would be a really great biography to read during Victober because she was, I think, 5 years old maybe when Queen Victoria took the throne, and she died a year or two um, after Queen Victoria had died. So yeah, so she basically was the whole way through the Victorian period. So that was really fascinating to me. But yeah, we're just really enjoying getting to know a lot more about, both the Spurgeons, because neither one of us really knew much more about Spurgeon than just what we read in his sermons, which his sermons aren't, at least what we've read, aren't very personal to him. So you don't get to know about his life through his sermons. So this has been really interesting because you're basically getting both of them, throughout the entire book. But Susie was a really fascinating person in her own right, with her own ministries and missions that she continued after Charles's death. So yeah, it's just been very good reading so far, and we probably should speed it up a little bit to try to get through it faster. But it is what it is. It's fine, and we have really good discussions when we do check in, so it's been fun. So now let's talk about what I've read so far in March. Now, March is March Mystery Madness and Middle Grade March in the BookTube community. And there's probably other things too, but those are the two I usually focus on. I haven't really focused on them for the last couple of years, and I have been missing it. So I'm starting with Middle Grade March, and I just finished Crenshaw by Catherine Applegate. And this was a really cute book. It was pretty quick, and it's all about this little boy. His parents have fallen on hard times, and they've already been homeless one time. And the little boy is afraid that they are going to be homeless again. And the first time that they were living in their car, this big cat named Crenshaw started showing up, and he went away whenever times got better for Jackson, this little boy. But now Crenshaw seems to be back, and Jackson doesn't understand because he feels like he is too old for that, and he likes facts. He's going to be a scientist, so there's no reason for this big imaginary cat to be hanging around. But it's just all about friendship and being there when you're needed. So yeah, it was really cute. I really enjoyed it in the end. Oh, I should have talked about this one first, but I am also currently about halfway through No More Boring Bible Study by Faith Womack. This I will also be reading for my DIY theology degree. Faith has a podcast, or not a podcast, a YouTube channel. She probably also has a podcast, but I'm a YouTube girl, so where she does Bible studies, and she also has a Patreon where she does like more in-depth Bible studies with her patrons. And this book is her first book, and it's just basically an overview of I'm seeing it as an overview of a lot of the things that she's talked about on her YouTube channel over the years. And it talks about hermeneutics, which is basically the study of the Bible and how you interpret the Bible, and just all the different like kind of techniques and thought processes involved in really going in depth with your Bible study. It's a really easy read. A lot of it, I feel like, is stuff that I already know because I have been doing in-depth Bible study for a long time, and I've been following Faith for a long time. as well as other people on the internet that I feel like are really good Bible teachers and Bible study teachers. So a lot of this is kind of just like more review for me. But if you are a beginner in wanting to really study in depth, then uh, I would definitely recommend this book. It is, I'm going to keep this book, even though I feel like it is more of a review for me. Excuse me, I had to cut out a little sneezing attack there. But yeah, I would really recommend this if you are a beginner Bible studier. But I am going to keep this book as a reference for, you know, for my life because it has really a lot of good interpretation, explanation. She has diagrams, she has activities kind of that you can do to like, train yourself to interpret a text. So yeah, this has been really good so far, and I'm trying to take it slow, but also it's very easy. So I haven't been tabbing it, but I have been highlighting it. Um, so yeah, it doesn't like look like it's something that I'm enjoying, but I definitely am. I've been highlighting and making little notes throughout the book. So, yeah, I totally recommend this one too. So, as far as March Mystery Madness goes, I haven't started anything for that yet, but I had a few things that I pulled off my shelves that I want to read, and one of them I think would go for both March Mystery Madness and um, middle grade March. So let me grab them. This is one that I have had on my shelves for a long time. I bought this at a library book sale years ago, and I don't know anything about it, but it's been on my shelf for so long that I really need to read it and either unhaul it or read more in the series. I'm assuming it's a series, but I know nothing about this Dread on Arrival, but it looks fun. So this is definitely going to have to be read sooner rather than later. And this is the one that I thought would work for both March Mystery Madness and Middle Grade March. It's the second in the Aggie Morton Mystery Queen series. And I listened to this one on audio the first time the first book in the series. I listened to that on audio. But I'm going to try to just read this one this time. But if I can find the audio, I might read along with it because the audio is really good for the first book. So, but this one follows Aggie Morton, and obviously, and her friend Hector Perot. So it's a spoof on Agatha Christie and Hercule Poirot. So yeah, was a really cute series. The first book that I read. So I bought this at my local bookstore. Quite a few years ago now. So it's really time that I also get to this one. And this one I just bought, and I think this would also probably go for March Mystery Madness and Middle Grade March. I have read 3 of the books in the series so far. I'm looking at my shelves right now to see if I can. Oh no, just 2. This is the third one in the series. This one is the Map of Stories, and it is. I just love the covers. Number one, and then I'm assuming, yeah, this one has. I'm trying to find some like good. Uh, oh yeah, see how. I'll try to. Oh gosh, show you, but see how like the fonts and stuff are kind of crazy at some points. I really like that. I think it's really interactive in a, for a written book kind of way. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's pretty thick, but the font is nice and big. So I don't think it'll take me too long, but I'm going to say at this point, it's probably going to go into April, but that's fine. So those are my immediate, like, want to read for March Mystery Madness and Middle Grade March. I'm hoping to do more reading today and maybe try to get some more stuff done. So then let's talk about some of the other books that I have been reading and listening to, and then I'll let you go because this has been long so far. So I have been with my friend Joe reading Custom of the Country by Edith Wharton, and we have decided that we are going to switch off between our Margaret Oliphant and who's the other one we're reading? Mary Elizabeth Braddon. We're doing one of those every other, well, like 1 month we'll do Oliphant, 1 month we'll do Braddon, and 1 month we will do a different author. And I think we might just be doing Edith Wharton. She might be our third one. So Edith Wharton is not Victorian, but she's like around that time. So, and we are really enjoying her. She's just totally different as far as her characters are yeah, just we do not enjoy the main character of this book, let's say, but she is like hilariously awful. If you have ever read Vanity Fair by Thackeray, the main character of that book is a lot like the main character of Custom of the Country. There's like not a lot of things about her that you can be like, yes, I'm rooting for her. So, but yeah, it's just been really fun to read all the craziness that goes on with these people. They're just high society people, and Undine is her name, the main character, and she is just not a nice girl. She is just very money hungry, society. She just wants to be seen, and she wants to like do what um, is going to get her noticed, kind of a thing. And it's just all about her love life that is not really love, and just all the shenanigans she gets into. But yeah, it's been really fun to read it and just different than the Victorian reads we usually do. Um, Oh, and the other book that I am slowly working through is Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trollope. This is the third book in the Barchester series, and I have been reading, or my hope is to read this series with my with Kate Howe's Patreon group. They have like a little side group that's reading the Barchester series, and I think also we're going to be doing the Palitzer series. I did not get to the second book in the Barchester series, which ironically was called Barchester Towers. I did not get to that one in February for the aforementioned reasons of just not feeling well and just, you know, being a mess in February. And so now and I also like didn't start Dr. Thorne right away, so I'm trying to catch up, but I'm hoping to at least have that one done by the end of March, and then if they have a discussion about it, then I will hopefully hop into that. So, yeah, that's all I've been reading. So far I've been enjoying it. I think I'm trying to like do it a little too fast, that I'm not really um, catching a lot of the nuances, but yeah, I'm trying to catch up with them. So, but so far I'm enjoying it. So, and I think that's it actually. 30 minutes. That's a lot longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm glad I didn't put my floss tube in with this too. But anyway, let me know what you have been reading. Let me know if you have read any of the books that I am reading or have read. And yeah, just let me know how your reading is going so far in Q1 of 2026. And hopefully, I will be back in maybe a couple of weeks to give you a March wrap up if I finished anything else, especially for March Mystery Madness and Middle Grade March. So, all right, friends, I will hopefully talk to you soon. Bye, friends.